We consider the difference between commercial and literary fiction, and the chapter has two stories in it, The Most Dangerous Game and Hunters in the Snow. Let's look at those as examples of the two types. First of all, let's consider the purpose. Commercial fiction provides us relief from the tedium of everyday life, escape, entertainment, enjoyment, and pleasure, while literary fiction gives us a broader, deeper, sharper awareness of life, so we get pleasure plus understanding. You remember the expectations between types of fiction. Commercial fiction, we have a sympathetic hero, a defined plot, suspense, a happy ending, which means there is a resolution, a satisfying ending, and a theme that affirms a generally held worldview. While in literary fiction, there are characters that may not be sympathetic. We may not identify with them. We may not like them. There is the unexpected in character, plot, and there may be a lack of resolution or a resolution that is not expected that causes us to question the world around us, or our beliefs about the world or about people. The Most Dangerous Game is an exciting suspense story. It's a page turner. We wonder what happens next. The conflict is basically good against evil. But there are some improbabilities. The idea that there is an island that has legend and mystery surrounding it, when obviously there has to be an interaction with commercial interaction for the island to be maintained. There is a question about whether or not the two individuals alone could maintain control. And there are some contradictory traits. We have a character who is both civil and savage. We wonder why he one day becomes bored enough that he begins to hunt a different kind of prey. And he says that his goal is to win, but the character turns back 3 different times rather than, if you'll excuse the expression, sealing the deal. He simply wants to we simply continue the suspense of the story. So because of these elements, we consider this to be commercial fiction. It's a great story, we enjoy it, but then we can go not much further with it. On the other hand, in Hunters in the Snow, we have the portrayal of 3 men who are revealed through their behavior and their dialogue. We see practical jokes, but underneath those jokes is a real malice. And we see alliances being formed that are based on self-interest and that show us a shifting balance of power between and among these 3 men. The setting is isolated, barren, and there is indication that it is hostile even before they actually get on the hunting trip. The windows broken out in the truck because of vandalism. The point of view is omniscient. We have an objective narrator who provides some commentary, and we can consider the theme of these individuals forming alliances for personal gain, and we can look at how social constraint controls us. They are removed from society, and what happens when those social constraints are removed. So we can look more deeply into the character of these men, how they behave, why they behave, what they say, and what that reveals about them, what their alliances reveal about them, who's powerful, who's strong, who's weak, how do we know that? How does the setting enter in? It's winter. There's snow. There's very little life. The point of view is detached. We're simply watching what unfolds. And the theme is not something that is pleasant, but we can see very clearly that what happens to these three men in this particular situation reveals to us something about human character, the way we treat one another, and how society enters into our relationships. So if we look at these two stories side by side, in The Most Dangerous Game, we have a sympathetic hero, a defined plot. We expect there to be a resolution. We wonder what happens. In the end, we're satisfied and good wins out over evil. But in Hunters in the Snow, there are unexpected things. Our characters, our protagonists, are not sympathetic. At the end, we are not satisfied with the resolution, and we question ourselves and the behavior of these men in this given situation. These men who at the beginning appear to be friends, but in the end have shifted alliances, and it is the strong who survive and the weak who are left. So when we begin to look at the stories in our text, they are going to be of the type that is literary fiction. We may not be satisfied with the ending, but if we read critically, if we analyze stories, we are going to be able to broaden, deepen, and sharpen our awareness of life, our understanding of human beings and how they relate to the world around them and to each other.